to the point of almost being able to park a car without leaving most of the paint on the fenders of the ones in front and behind. Khalil had, in the process, earned a reputation within the residential household as a driver of less than perfect reliability. Here, tonight, Nazrah found herself maneuvering with difficulty. Exiting the gate, she sheared off the rearview mirror and left a scrape down the side of the $85,000 car that would cause the most stoic of insurance adjusters to weep. Her intention had been to turn left toward the city of Washington, but seeing the headlights of a car coming up the country lane from that direction, she panicked and turned right, deeper into the deciduous suburb of McLean. In truth, Nazrah was not thinking clearly. In truth, she was drunk. Drunk, as one might explain to a magistrate, with an explanation. After more than 20 years in Washington, her husband, the prince, had announced his intention of returning to Wasabia along with Nazrah and his 3 other wives. His uncle, the king, had decided to reward his decades of smooth service by anointing his nephew foreign minister. This was a big promotion that came with an even bigger palace and share of Wasabi's oil royalties. The news was less than joyous to Nazrah, the youngest, prettiest, and most independent-minded of the prince's wives. She did not want to return to Wasabia. Her years of living in America, even under the watchful eye of Shazik, Prince Bawad's stern, neutered, so it was rumored, chamberlain, had left Nazrah with an appreciation of the role of women in Western society. She was in no hurry to return to a country where she would have to hide her lovely features under a veil, and in even less of a hurry to return to a country where women were still being publicly flogged, stoned to death, and having their heads cut off in a site in the capital city so accustomed to the spectacle that it had earned the nickname Chop Chop Square. Nazrah had been planning to inform the prince of her decision to remain in the United States that night after he returned home from his dinner with the Waldorf Group, a very influential group indeed, consisting of ex-U.S. presidents, ex-secretaries of state and defense, ex-directors of the Central Intelligence Agency, excellent folks all, and what contacts they had! Since its founding 10 years before in a suite at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York City, the Waldorf Group had invested over $5 billion of Wasabi royal money in various projects. This made for close relationships all around. Many of the Waldorf's board of directors also sat on the boards of the companies in which all the royal Wasabi money was being invested. Today, Waldorf's board meeting concerned a desalination project. Desalination was always a hot topic in Wasabia, owing to its geographical peculiarity. The country was entirely landlocked. Its lack of a single foot of shoreline was a grating historical vestige, the result of a moment of bibulous pique on the part of Winston Churchill when he drew up Wasabia's modern borders on a cocktail napkin at his club in London. King Tallulah had been uncooperative during the peace conference, so with a few strokes of his fountain pen, Churchill had denied him seaports. Thus do brandy-saturated moments determine the fate of empires and the course of history. Wasabi's population was booming, owing to the fact that every man could take up to 4 wives. You were hardly considered manly unless you had 20 children. As a result, it was an increasingly young and thirsty nation. At the board meeting, Prince Bawad told the assembled Waldorf directors, dear friends all, that the kingdom would be pleased to invest $1.2 billion with the group. The group would in turn hire the necessary Texans, kindred desert people, to build more desalination plants and the requisite pipelines into perennially parched Wasabia. At the critical moment during the meeting, the chairman of the board, an ex-president of the United States, would scribble a number on a piece of paper and slide it over to Prince Bawad. The number on the piece of paper represented Prince Bawad's participation, such a nicer word than skim or take, in the profits. This ritual usually went smoothly, but this time Prince Bawad, who was building a 150,000-square-foot ski lodge in Jackson Hole, felt that the sum was, well, inadequate. He stared at the ex-president. They had a good relationship, the ex-president and Prince Bawad. The former had been a guest, while president, at Prince Bawad's present 100,000-square-foot ski lodge in Aspen. Normally, he would have scratched out the number and written a slightly